On the evening of Wednesday, March 2nd, crews from Company 21 were dispatched to a residence in Rockville, Maryland, for a patient with decreased level of consciousness. When Ambulance 721 and Paramedic Engine 721 arrived on the scene, they found a patient lying on the ground. The patient's husband stated that she had suffered a miscarriage 5 days prior and started to feel ill while at work. Her condition continued to deteriorate, and as while they were preparing to transport for evaluation, the patient collapsed. When the crews arrived at the patient's side, she was found to be pulseless and apneic. The crews worked together to immediately initiate high-performance CPR, place an airway, and ventilate the patient via bag valve mask. The patient was placed on the cardiac monitor, and the initial rhythm was pulseless activity, electrical activity, PEA. Chest compressions were continued, while vascular access was obtained via IO. Lactated ringers and epinephrine were administered. At the second pulse check, the patient remained in PEA, and a second epinephrine was administered. After approximately 15 minutes of CPR and ventilations, the patient had a return of spontaneous circulation. The patient would take spontaneous breaths and was sinus brady on the cardiac monitor. The crews worked together to obtain a 12 lead and initiate neuroprotective hypothermia protocol. The patient was packaged for transport and moved to the transport unit. En route to the hospital, an EpiDrip was administered and a medical consult was performed with Holy Cross. On arrival at the hospital, patient care was transferred to the emergency room staff. During the examination in the ER, the patient was found to have free fluid in her abdomen and pelvis, as well as very low hemoglobin and hematocrit level. The patient was transfused with blood and taken emergently to the operating room for a laparotomy. The patient was monitored in the ICU, where her condition continued to improve. Thanks to the teamwork, skills, and knowledge of the crews on the scene, as well as the staff at Holy Cross Hospital, the patient was discharged home neurologically intact on March 11th, and she is here to thank the responders.
Thank you.